the thing I'm kind of struggling with when I try to, think about what the GM of this team can do in the summer is, do those players have value, or are the Oilers going to have to attach assets to move them out? Do you have a read on that? Like, will there be teams calling and saying, hey, we'll take Cody Ceci's full contract off your hands for a 4th round pick? Like, do they have value, or are we overvaluing them because we watch them 82 times a year?
You're not overvaluing them, and I don't think you're undervaluing. I think you're asking the right question. I think with someone like Yamamoto, based on the way his production was so decreased and diminished this year, mostly due to the injury, that I think you're going to have to attach an asset to. I think if you wanted to move on from Cody Ceci, it's not such a crippling cap hit, and the term remaining isn't so onerous that you wouldn't be able to, like, you could get probably something like you said, a late round pick to try and get rid of him and to create that cap flexibility. But what are you doing with that cap flexibility? That to me is what matters. Is it signing Bouchard to a long-term deal as opposed to a bridge? Is it going out and tackling a bigger name free agent? One of the names that Bob Stauffer mentioned on Oilers Now, which he always seems to be plugged in, was Damon Severson. And I was like, man, that's an interesting one. That if you could foresee a path in which Bouchard is bridged, and also, you had the flexibility of getting rid of Ceci, like, you could start to see the dollars and cents work for something like that. But that would be a pretty sizable upgrade, I would think, and really solidify the Oilers' top 4 in a big, big way.
Hear me out, though. Damon Severson, 6x6, hasn't played a ton against elites in the past. Scott Mayfield, 3x3.75 on his AFP projection. Frank, like, wouldn't it make more sense to just not go $6 million on one piece and go, okay, if you can move out Ceci and Yamamoto, go spend 3 to 4 on the D-man, go spend 3 to 4 on the forward, and upgrade both those spots in free agency instead of blowing the cap space on one?
I get exactly what you're saying, and I understand why Mayfield has the intrigue, because he does play in a lot of situations and he's pretty well rounded. Personally, I just don't think he makes anywhere near the impact, and I also think this AFP projection is a bit low. I think Scott Mayfield will end up somewhere in the 4s, and I think when you compare the difference between Severson and Mayfield impact on the ice relative to those cap hits of what they're going to be playing at, I think Severson is the better buy.